Hello, everyone. Bill Adams, Realtor with Coldwell Banker Realty with you. Hey, joining us today is Deborah Brown. Deborah is a tax rebate affiliate, and she's here to tell us about her business. Welcome, Deborah.
Welcome.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to come in and educate people about my business and what we do for small businesses and nonprofits.
All right. Well, let's start with that. Tell us about your business.
All right. I am an affiliate with Tax Rebate Specialists, and what we do is work with businesses that struggled during COVID. You realize how bad things were with COVID, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the government realized this, and through the CARES Act, there was money that was set aside for businesses that were trying to stay open during COVID. Most people are familiar with the Paycheck Protection Plan, which is PPP. That was a loan. A lot of people got round one, a lot of people got round two, and some of it was forgiven, and sometimes both were forgiven. But with employee retention credit, this money is not a loan. This is something that businesses have already paid into, but don't realize that they qualify for it. And a lot of reasons that they don't realize is because the rules changed in the middle of the stream. At first, if you got paycheck protection, PPP, you couldn't apply for ERC, the Employee Retention Credit. But November of 2021, they changed that rule. And what they did, I guess not necessarily changed it, but they adapted it to say that if you had a closure, because in a lot of states, they had to close down. So if you had a closure or a suspension of your services, or if you had a supply issue, you go to the grocery store, you couldn't get toilet paper, you couldn't get spray, you couldn't get detergent, you couldn't get body soap, that's considered a supply issue. Or if you had a decrease in revenue. So they added all those three things to also help individuals apply for the Employee Retention Credit. You don't have to have all three, just one of those three. You have to have W-2 employees, and you can get up to $26,000 per employee. If you work with our organization, it costs you nothing to find out whether or not your business qualifies.
Oh, wow.
So I've been trying to get out here and educate as many people as I can about it, because there's still people who don't know that this is available to them.
Oh, what a great service. How did you get into this business?
It's funny you ask that. It's a friend of mine, and we're always looking for opportunities, to diversify our income. So we're always looking for things. And she called me up and asked me, or told me about this. She says, I got into something, and I think it is just phenomenal. That's her word. It's phenomenal. Businesses don't realize that they qualify for this money. We have to get out there and educate as many businesses as we possibly can so they can find out about this, take advantage of it. The other thing about this with paycheck protection, you had to use it for payroll or for your employees. With this, you can use it for whatever you want. If you had paycheck protection and you had to pay that money back, this is what you can use the ERC for. If not, then if you want to expand your business or anything like that, that's what you can use the money for. And you don't have to pay it back. Again, you don't have to pay it back. So, yeah.
All right. So working with companies in regards to this employee retention credit, I'm sure there's been some memorable times. Could you relate one of those experiences and share it with us?
Well, I can relate. I try to work with as many businesses as I possibly can. It doesn't matter your size. Some companies won't work with you if you don't have 5 employees or more. And a lot of times that's what an employer will say, well, I only had 2 employees. It doesn't matter, I'll work with you. One particular organization, I was able to work with him, and he got $313,000 back.
Wow.
And he called me up and he says, don't get upset with me. And I said, okay. He said, well, I called my CPA just to make sure that this was legit, you know.
Uh-huh.
He said, and my CPA told me, yeah, that's your money. That's your money. It's legit. Go move forward with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was, and I said to him, no, I'm not upset. I said, but what I'm asking you to do is tell others.
Yeah.
Because so many people feel like this is too good to be true.
Mm-hmm.
It's too good to be true. I can't, there has to be a catch somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if there's no catch, this money is your money that you paid in payroll taxes. It is technically a refund that you're getting back from the IRS.
Okay. Well, typically I ask what are some of the challenges that you run across. It sounded like that may be the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to add to that?
The biggest challenge is, again, people or businesses realizing or wanting to say, do I qualify for this?
Mm-hmm.
Can I qualify for this? It doesn't cost you anything to find out.
Mm-hmm.
So call me, we'll walk through the steps. It only takes a couple minutes to find out how much you could qualify for. Mm-hmm. Then if you don't want to go move forward, you don't have to move forward. Yeah. You're not out anything except a little bit of your time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do your clients say about you and the service? What kind of feedback do you get?
Well, I had, and now this is, people are funny sometimes, but I had one client that I worked with, and I tell her, I was talking with her and we went over everything, and I helped her because I'm not technical, she wasn't either, but together we were able to download her 941s and all this stuff. So there's no fee to find out up front what you can get back. Uh-huh. But once we find out what you can get back, you're asked, did you want to pay a 10% fee up front? You get to save 5%, or you can wait on the back end and pay 15%. So you're still not out any money. Mm-hmm. But then when you get your credit back, you can pay the 15%. Well, I was explaining that to her, and she says, I don't know you people. There's no way in the world I'd pay 10% up front, and I don't know who you are. And I said, I can totally understand that. Uh-huh. But when we got done with the process, she paid the 10% up front so that she could save the 5% on the back end. Mm-hmm. And I said to her, I said, well, I thought you said you weren't going to pay that 10%. She said, well, honey, that looks better in my pocket than it looks in there. So, yeah. So,
well, and then that also speaks highly of the confidence that you were able to instill in your client going through the process, your knowledge and hand-holding and getting the paperwork accomplished. Yeah. That she felt comfortable paying up front.
Well, I also asked her, would she talk to other business owners if someone had a question, mm-hmm. and would, just like you said you had for your customer, and she did. She talked to the young lady, and she said, I wouldn't have anybody else do it but Debbie Brown. You know, she walked me through the process. She made everything crystal clear. She said, no, don't use anyone else but Debbie Brown. So I was like, oh, thank you for that plug. You know? So we had a 360-degree turnaround from how she was when we first met. Mm-hmm. So, and we're still friends even now. She'll call me even now just to say, how are things going? Is there anyone else I can talk to them about the service? And I was like, anyone and everyone. Everyone is our client.
All right. Yeah. So let me ask you this. What motivates Deborah?
Well, part of what motivates me is I have two little grandsons that are 6 and 7. And I want to do everything I can to spoil those two little boys. But the other thing is I work with nonprofits. I work with small businesses. I know how badly they struggle. Mm-hmm. And I have made it my commitment to go out and try to find as many businesses as I can to at least educate them. Even if they don't use our organization, but they need to know that this money is out there and available for them. So that's my mission, to take care of my 2 little grandbabies, although I do have 4 total, but the other 2 are adults and, they can take care of themselves. But but my babies, they still need GMA to help them. And then again, like I said, these businesses need to know that because they struggle.
Yeah.
They struggled very, very hard during that time when we had to shut down, or who knew what was going to happen next. And so where were they getting money from to survive? They were borrowing if they possibly could. And a lot of banks were not lending money during that time because they didn't know what was going to happen. So I'm doing them, I feel as if I'm doing them a service by letting them know about what's available out there.
Yeah. That's fantastic. So with your dedication and energy to helping people, you have to have time for yourself. What do you do for fun?
Well, I have a trip. I have a trip scheduled for St. Martin.
Yay.
I like to do things like that. Since I'm new to the area, I try to go to find out what's happening in the area in Phoenix, so that I can find out what activities are there. I know they have a botanical garden. I'd like to go there, and I know there was a butterfly exhibit, so I wanted to do that. I like to try new things, and I was talking with another gentleman, and he was talking about hiking. Well, I think I'd like to try hiking, but a real short hike. until I can work myself up to the longer ones. But I like to try new things, different things. Yeah.
Adventurous. Well,
Yes.
that's super.
Yes.
Deborah, I really appreciate you spending time with us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Again, this is my commitment to the small businesses, to the nonprofits. And can I have, one other plug?
Sure.
If there are any bookkeepers, accountants, or CPAs that are out there, I know this is your busy season. So you don't have time for this, but I can help you. I can help you. I can work with you so that you can make sure your clients get this money back. So please, please, please reach out.
Yeah. So definitely, hey, any questions or you want to see if you and your company qualify, please reach out to Deborah. She'll be happy to help answer any questions for you. This is Bill Adams, Realtor, Caldwell Banker Realty. Thanks for being with us.